much. Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you very much. I have one conflict tonight. I don't know whether to thank the IFP and the Gotham Awards folks more for this beautiful award, or to thank them more for having Dan Rather present it. Honestly, Dan, he is one of the finest journalists and truth tellers the United States of America has ever produced in all of our history. Thank you, Dan. God bless you. I want to thank John Cameron Mitchell, our host. You're funny, man. And Joanna Vicente, Executive Director of the IFP, thank you so much. Wonderful job, everyone associated with the IFP. And I said in some of the interviews earlier that it's a cliche to say it's humbling to get an award like this, but in my case, the cliche really is true in significant measure because the heavy lifting was done by the directors of this movie. We heard about how it's the year of the woman earlier from Joanna. Bonnie Cohen, the director of this movie, and John Schenck, the co-director of this movie, is here. And Diane Wireman, the producer, and Richard Burge, the other producer. Thank you so much. David Lindy, CEO and President of Participant Media, thank you so much. There are two other people I want to acknowledge just because I'm from Nashville, and I wish I knew them better than I did, but my Nashville peeps, Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon, are here. And all right. And I know you're being honored for something else, Nicole, and you're doing the honors, Reese, but I have to say it's not part of this event, but Big Little Lies was awesome. Awesome. Oh my God. It was really great. Anyway, we in Nashville are proud of you guys. So I want to thank the Independent Filmmaker Project and everyone at the Gotham Awards and all of the talented people in independent filmmaking. Receiving this award is an opportunity to say just a few brief words about the climate crisis. Forgive me, I've got the podium here, so I'm going to do it. It's the most important challenge we've ever faced, and we have the solutions available to us. I want to give a shout out to Davis Guggenheim, who was the director of An Inconvenient Truth 11 years ago. Bonnie and John always give props to Davis. And film has given many of us an opportunity to reach people in ways that politics cannot. I speak from experience. This is, in some ways, a golden era for documentary film, and Diane has been one of the great mavens of documentary film. It may be because of the busy social media environment. It's the only place where you can sit in a communal setting and get a well thought through presentation for 90 minutes or more that really penetrates deeply and conveys a message. We've got to figure out a way to solve this. The reference was made on the screen to Superstorm Sandy. We've had just in the last 2 months, Hurricane Harvey in Houston, 5 feet of rain in 5 days. I mean, and then look at Puerto Rico with Hurricane Maria and Hurricane Irma hitting Cuba and the Caribbean, and then all the fires out west. I often say every night on the TV news is like a nature hike through the book of Revelation. And even though the dots are not always connected, people are beginning to realize that we have really got to stop using the thin atmosphere of the earth as an open sewer and trapping all this heat and threatening our future and creating an existential crisis for humanity. But here's the good news. Just in time, right? Every nation in the world, Syria and Nicaragua finally joined up just about the time that Donald Trump said we're withdrawing. But, by the way, the first date the U.S. could legally withdraw is the first date after the next presidential election in 2020. And if there's a new president, excuse me a moment, a new president could just give 30 days notice and we're back in. So there is, so remember that, okay? Every nation in the entire world, 197 countries, have signed up to an agreement to take global warming pollution down to net zero by mid-century. And the business leaders, the governors here in New York, California, Washington State, many other states, hundreds of mayors, thousands of business leaders have all said, we're still in the Paris Agreement. Hashtag, we got this. The U.S. is going to meet and exceed our commitments regardless of what Donald Trump tweets. We are going to solve this crisis. The remaining question is whether we will solve it in time to avoid an unacceptable risk of crossing some point of no return. I think we're going to do it. But if we do it, and I believe we will, it's going to be because of the telling of stories, including through documentary film, about what's at stake, what the hope, the legitimate hope is, how we can solve this. We know we have to do it. We now know we can do it. Solar electricity, wind electricity, electric cars, efficiency, batteries, they're all coming down in cost so fast. Solar jobs are growing 17 times faster than all the other jobs in the economy. We really can do this. We can do it. The remaining question is, will we do it? I think we will. But for those who still have some remaining doubt that we have the political will to do what's necessary to safeguard the future for our kids and our grandkids and for all of the human species, just remember, political will is itself a renewable resource. Thank you very much.